Good morning. So, yes, this is my new robe that I got from Urban Outfitters. I absolutely love it. Here's the irony. Hold on, let me clean the screen because I think that it needs cleaning. Okay, that's better. So, I'm going to sit down. Um, I love my robe, but one of the things I realized about ordering robes is that you honestly need to measure yourself better. Robes come in a lot of the times letter sizes. I ordered a large, extra large, because I'm bottom heavy. And I notice a lot of times when I order things, they run small. I think robes are the exception because this robe is like huge. But it's okay. It's okay. I still love it. It still feels good. And welcome to the continuation of the healing process, not just for myself, but for everybody that's watching. And I mean that in the context of we're all healing together. Um, Let me say this, right? First of all, this morning, what I started to do, I started to have a motherfucking cocktail this morning. That's what I started the fuck to do. And then I decided I better not. So let's have some coffee together. My coffee is already made. It's the weekday, it's Tuesday. Ooh, it's almost 10 in the morning. So it's quite possible you guys are well started on your day. I'm off today. I'm thankful to be off today. I am exhausted. Um, what we're going through professionally at work is very hectic on the body, and it's very hectic on the mind. And you know, where the mind goes, the body follows. Okay, but always remember that. Where your mind goes, the body follows. Which is why, or the equivalent of stress being a number one killer. I don't know what the hell. Okay. A silent killer, the number one silent killer. Because where your mind goes, the body follows. So in the background here is wall decor that I'm gonna put on this wall right here. But since this channel is about healing, well, it is fitting. It is fitting because I am domesticated. No, let me rephrase that. I am domestic. Um, I am. I love comfort in anything. I love a sense of fashion and style in almost anything. My surroundings, my space, my attire, and um and so, decorating my space, tailoring it to the way that I like it, that makes me comfortable, but that also reminds me. That's why you see a lot of not just artwork, but positive sayings and quotations, because when you're healing, baby, the probability of you taking a downward spiral is very high because you're in a low vibe, because the space you're in is a hurtful space, and it definitely takes away from um how can I say this? It doesn't take away from who you are as a person or your characteristics, but it does subtract, possibly even drain any positive energy that you do have, because two highly vibrational opposites can't occupy the same space. Here's what I mean by that. If you're angry, you're highly upset. If you're extremely sad, if you're extremely happy, if you notice, oftentimes Only one of those energies can occupy your being at a time. Only one of those energies can occupy your being at a time. So you're either or. It's very, very rare where you have a bittersweet moment and you can absorb both of those energies at once. But keep going. Don't stop. Healing is the work that you're putting into the faith that you're believing in. The good book says faith without works is dead, right? So you just have to know and understand that as much as we believe in the higher power, whatever your higher power is that you're believing in, no one, no power is going to come and rescue you if you're not going to put in the necessary work to show them that you're going to do what you need to do for yourself. Of course, the Creator is all knowing, all seeing, all powerful. The oneness. Absolutely. I can't ever, there's nothing I can possibly say or do to ever get you to believe anything different or to get you to feel different. But it's not about that. I'm trying to make a point. There's a similar saying to help me make my point. Excuse me, bear with me. The saying is never try to help somebody unless they're going to help themselves. That applies all across the board. I think that's one of the issues we have, even with the Bible or any type of knowledge or information that we're receiving, in whichever way that we receive it. I think that's one of the issues about retaining knowledge and information is that people misconstrue it and use it to fit their agenda. I think when you are on the road to healing, when you're on the road to spirituality, there should be no personal agenda. It just, it doesn't make sense because the road to healing and the road to spirituality is about balancing, understanding, knowing your dualities, how to implement them, when to implement them, and growth. Growth. I know it probably looks like it's cold in here, and it's not, it's room temperature. It's like houses are, I guess. It's not hot, it's not cold, but I just love to be like this. This is just me. I love to be all snuggly, buggly, you know, um, because I feel protected, I feel safe in this type of space. And this is the space I'm creating for my home. Now, this is my journal. Yes, I have to do my damn nails. I was supposed to do them yesterday, but I got caught up in running other errands, so I didn't get a chance to do them. And I really don't think that needs explaining. But when you are trying to capture the essence of an audience, it is important to help them understand that healing and spirituality is a lifetime journey because it took us probably a lifetime to get to the point where we needed to heal, and that nothing is perfect. Perfection does not exist. And to be honest, when we're hurting, we probably say we want that. We probably say, oh, if this was this way, if this was that way, I want to be feeling this, I want to be feeling that. But the lessons are important for you to learn because they're going to carry you through. There's duality in that. There's preparation right? For whatever there is to come, and there's a lesson in it. And I don't care how small or big the lesson is, there's a lesson that you need to learn. So yeah, I was journaling this morning. That's another thing that I love to do, right? And you're healing, baby, right? Because I feel good. Uh, mhm, mhm, mhm. And you're healing, baby. And our healing. Because I don't want to keep talking like third party term and shit. Like I'm not in this shit with you. And our healing. When you get time to be alone, please don't, please. I can't stress this enough. Right. But the lesson that I'm learning, and though I share with you and we'll share and build together, I can't force you to do anything. I don't have the power that you don't allow me to have, that you're not giving me. I can only have a certain amount of influence, right? And so I want you to understand this. Plenty of us wear multiple hats. We're workers, we're parents, we're associates, we're entrepreneurs. And when you have so many hats to wear, you understand that your time in a day is limited. Time go by so very damn fast. When you're in the process of healing, please, I ask of you, if I'm allowed to ask you for anything and you're going to oblige me, please make the time for yourself. Make time for yourself. You make time for everyone else, you make time for everything else, make time for yourself. Now, here's the trick to that. Making time for yourself, you have to be by yourself. By yourself. A lot of people don't like to be alone, but baby, that is the most sacred time. You need that time to pray, to align yourself, to refocus your energy, to get back into balance, to consider what it is that you need to do for you to be able to move forward. What it is that you need to do for you to say, you know what? Tomorrow around this time, or whenever you're able to find a time to sit with yourself, you're going to have a goal of something. Take small steps if it's too much for you. Sometimes it's too much for some people. Like I was very, very judgmental in the beginning because, because I'm often a loner. People that struggle with being alone, I would say, like, that's so fucked up. Like, that's crazy. You bugging. I think because I'm an empath, however the fuck you say it. I could be wrong in saying it, but you get my point. Um, and so because I'm an empath, that being alone is where I get my energy from. It's where I can get right in order to present myself in any other situation that may require my presence that's outside of myself, right? But everyone doesn't operate like that. I found out. And what I've also found out is it's people that I really, really care about that struggle with being alone. That makes me sad for them. So, um, because if someone is always occupying your space, when do you have a moment to think? And so I'm saying to you to promote healthy healing, to say, I don't care if it's only 15 minutes, half an hour before bed, um, your lunch break, um, the 45 minutes you get on your way to traveling to work. Whatever time you have to take for yourself, please take it, but use it wisely. If being alone is hard for you, I'm asking if you can do it that way, because that's the only way that you'll be able to truly contribute to your overall healing for yourself. It's going to be beneficial to you. That's your moment between you and the creator that you believe in, to be able to reconnect, and for you to be able to be shown some things that need correction within you. Because if you're always running and doing for everyone else, wouldn't you have a moment to yourself to sit down and say, this is what I need to do and this is what I should do? And when do you have a time to sit down and be able to penetrate that divine energy for intervention? For him to be able, or her to be able to say to you or connect with you and give you enlightenment. One step at a time, baby, healing. One day at a time, one moment at a time. It's fine. Whoever it is that you're trying to let go of, um, for me, I find in my healing that I have to let go pieces at a time. All at once, cold turkey, don't work for me. I can't. Because I spent decades loving this person. And I spent a lot of time justifying their mistreatment of me. I was trying to equivalate that with love. Um, our love languages, I think, have changed. It's quite possible that we outgrew each other. Um, but there was changes that was taking place in each of us separately, that when it came time for us to be together again as one, we couldn't get those changes in lifestyles to coincide together. Excuse me. Oh, yeah. Healing means taking accountability for the part that you played in your own heartbreak. You have to, because nothing is totally someone else's 100% fault. Even the silent permission that you gave them to continue hurting you because you didn't set boundaries, or because you didn't explain it, or because you didn't tell them, and because you didn't want to tell them because you know that they're going through something and you didn't want to be an extra burden, or because they have somehow silenced you, or somehow brainwashed you or convinced you that the best way for them to be able to handle what they're going through is for you to be silent about it. They don't want to hear your gripes. They don't want to hear your grievances. They don't want to hear what they're going through is affecting you, and how maybe you may have an idea, whatever the case is. Because I'm past the point of being bitter, and I'm not trying to sound bitter. I'm just trying to explain to you that accountability has to be taken on your behalf also. Right? Because with me, I can and did have boundaries with everyone else. But when I was loving you, when I loved you, him, my children, my sisters, my girlfriend, when I have this space for you, what I did was I didn't have any boundaries for those people, because I just took it honestly to feel that because my intentions was pure, and because I genuinely cared for these people, that they would and then feel the same for me and treat me the same way. And it's not that I didn't want to have boundaries in their lives. It's not that. I just thought that the pure love, the genuineness of it all, I thought it would be reciprocated. And it wasn't. So when it wasn't, it hurt me. But I have to understand that everyone does not operate like me. Everyone definition of love is different, but everyone also understands boundaries. They do. There's professional boundaries at work, and when you go to a job interview, new to the job, old to the job, whatever rules or guidelines or regulations that's implemented, you get the memo. And so in our personal lives, we also have to create boundaries, even for the ones that we love. Those boundaries are going to help our relationship grow further, go further. And it's going to help because there will be a mutual understanding that I'm setting these boundaries up to protect myself as well as you so that we can continue our sisterhood or our relationship, as well as these boundaries are set up for you because I need for you to know that I care for our situation that much that I want to protect you from hurting me or getting into a space where we're both uncomfortable and it's challenging to the point that it may be detrimental to our situationship. So yeah, and in healing, I have my good days and I have my bad days. I have ups, I have downs, I have ins, I have outs. But we going back to July now, July 21st. And um I'm thankful I got this far. One of my sisters told me, she said, one day you're gonna look up and the pain isn't gonna be so intense. And you're gonna realize then at that time that you were stronger than you ever knew. And I'm thankful for the messenger. And I'm thankful that the Creator allows people that I care about to be messengers for me. But it's not always people that I care about. Sometimes it's complete strangers. That's the duality of things. Sometimes someone to say something with you that resonates with you, and it's a divine message in it, and it's a coming upon you to get it. My uncle slash brother, because he is my uncle. We are very close, but he feels more like a brother. Said to me, "It's okay, baby. Let it hurt. Just know that it'll never hurt this way again." And that is the goal that I ascend to be in. That's the space I ascend to be in. Because I don't want to create another space where someone that I love can hurt me. Now, disappointment is one thing. People are imperfect, they're human. And so they're going to disappoint you, whether it's intended or not. That's another topic. And of course, we'll have to learn how to deal with that. But hurt, that's another thing, especially when it's intentional. And it makes me sad when I look at a lot of our men, not all, if it don't apply, let it fly. But I look at a lot of our men and I just see how lost they are. And how at one time I had to be just as lost because I chose this particular man. And men, a lot of men, most men think that, or maybe they take the title king to be just that, a title. But it's not. A king is a protector and a king is a leader. And amongst all things, a king knows how to maintain. And it saddens me that a lot of our men, although it has a great deal with a great connection to how they was raised, a lot of men lost their royalty. They lost it. And I say that because when you have a good woman, when you find your Red, when you find your Eve, when you find your Lilith, okay, when you find the one, the way that you treat them is very important. It is a reflection of how you feel about yourself. It is a reflection of how you would treat yourself. And it is a reflection of how you would want to be treated. And so for you to treat them opposite of that, not only says how you feel about yourself as a king, but it also says that The examples that you had of love at any time of your life probably wasn't. I don't want to blame my pain on 100% on parenting either. Like, I think there's fractions of everything, because I also know a lot of us were young parents, and there's no guidebook to parents, there's no Bible to parenting, and we do the best that we can. Our children are also human individuals, and so you do the best you can with your children. They're going to be who they're ordained to be anyway, and regardless. But you do the best that you can, because you want to raise as productive a human as possible, because these humans are going to be in charge of, I guess I could say, of your lineage, of your bloodline. Your children are going to be a major part in raising your grandchildren and your great grandchildren. Your children are what's going to carry your namesake. Your children is what's going to pass down your bloodline. Your children is a direct descendant that will ascend into the greatness that you prepare for them in their childhood. You are the vessel. The Creator has allowed you to be a vessel to carry through. He trusted you. She trusted you. She saw something in you and trusted you to say, you know what, this person, I'm going to put them in charge on this plane to be able to be in charge of a life. And I'm going to use them as a vessel to pass this life through, and for them to train this life up in the greatness of me. Like, this is my lineage that I'm passing down for my name's sake. And so it goes on generationally and generationally. And one thing that we definitely need to consider in our healing is breaking these motherfucking generational curses. Because, see, everything that we pray for, the opposition, the negative energy, the devil, whatever you want to name it, is there listening. Why do you think that they can dress everything up the way that you want it and then use those things against you? Because they're there when they pray. They're not exempt from our prayers because we don't include them in our prayers. They're there. They hear it. And so one of the things you need to do is to take all of that in account. And so when you're passing on and raising your lineages, your namesake, you want them to be as well-rounded as possible. Because for generations to come, you not only want to break the curses, but you want to create new, elevated, enlightened bonds within them, within relationships within a family, and with their own selves. That's what you want to be able to pass on. One of my brothers that I listen to, he has a, I don't want to say a prayer that he opens up with, okay? But, and I'm still learning it, and I'm learning it because I just feel like it's very, very powerful. But my brother Blaze, right? I cannot remember it verbatim, but I will learn it and I will implement it in these some of these series so that you can learn it, because I think it's great. But there's some things that stand out with me, and he says, all things work in divine order. All things work in a divine order. A divine mind knows, and a divine mind shows that all things work in divine order. I want us to get that, fully get it and understand that we have divinity within us, and that we need to align that with the divinity outside of us so that we could progress to a better healing. And I don't want to sound cliche, but this is what I am learning, and what I learned on my journey, I'm passing it along in hopes that I can help someone. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that everyone outside of you deserves to be or deserves a part of this beautiful place that you find once you get there within you and about you. You know, it takes some work. We're all a work in progress, but keep working. And that is the realization I have came up with in overthinking, because there's such a negative stigma in this society today. You know, they negative, they it's so much, everything negative, it seems like it's glorified. Everything, because there's a duality in everything, you know. We have to find the balance in it. But everything has this kind of like demonic type of spin on it. They put, you know, there's negativity and overthinking. There can be. The duality is there's positivity in overthinking too. That's why I changed the name. I don't know if I'm the first to do it, but I like to think that I am. So I changed the name of overthinking to diversified thinking, because overthinking has this negative connotation to it. Diversified thinking sounds better. And there's positivity in diversified thinking, because it is when you sit with yourself long enough to consider every single possible option. It's like playing chess. You're going to figure out which move is the best. You're going to figure out which pieces work best for you and which direction you should go in when you have diversified thinking. Leaders have diversified thinking, baby. Because in order for you to lead, you need to be able to think of every possible outcome and which way is going to work better for your company, your entrepreneurship, for yourself, for your family when you're leading. And my coffee done got cold, I'm sure. It's okay. It's warm enough to drink. Anyway, my wall decal, I'm going to work on putting that up. And I'll show it on my Facebook page when I do put it up. I want you guys to have a great and wonderful morning. Thank you for tuning in with me. I am definitely trying to get better on doing these lives. The thing is this, I still work. I work. And I have to work. I have to work. And my work schedule is very, very hectic. And that's why I don't necessarily have a set time that I can come live. But I prefer to do live as opposed to just doing a video and uploading it. But I have no problem with doing that either. But as always, continually, I'm a work in progress, and I appreciate you working with me. I want you guys to have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, a wonderful rest of your week, and I'll definitely get with you guys later. If you click subscribe, then every time I'm live, it'll just pop up. You'll get a notification. If you click like, if you give me a thumbs up, that lets me know and let YouTube know that you're watching, and they won't, maybe they will judge me by my views, but it lets them know that the content that I do bring is liked when you click the thumbs up, and they won't give me a hassle about bringing conflict, content. They won't harass me or aggravate me about the content that I do present, because I'm not getting enough views, or I'm not, whatever guidelines. I mean, not be disrespectful, because I'm still using them. So whatever guidelines that they have in order for your channel to be or stay, when you click the thumbs up, it just lets them know that, that I can stay on this channel. So with that being said, have a wonderful rest of your day. I wish you well. I wish us successful, healthy healing, and I'll see you next time.